The stars above were calm that night, their light spilling across the endless desert of the alien planet Zythera. The alien cities glimmered with silver towers and strange floating lights, a marvel of technology that no human could have imagined. Yet amid the beauty, tension simmered. For years, the aliens had lived in strict order, believing themselves the strongest beings in the galaxy. But something unexpected was about to shatter that belief. In a small, peaceful settlement on the edge of the main city, Lyria, the alien princess, prepared for a ceremony that could change everything. Her people had long feared the humans, known for their strange unpredictability. Yet the elders of Zythera believed that a union with a human could bring peace. They arranged for Lyria to marry a human, a decision that caused whispers and arguments among the citizens. Some saw it as a foolish gamble, while others hoped it might end the constant skirmishes that haunted the border regions. Lyria herself felt a mix of duty and doubt. She had been trained all her life to rule, to think strategically and to protect her people. But the thought of marrying a human, a creature so different from everything she had known, filled her with unease. She wondered if the stories about human strength were true, or if they were just myths passed down through generations to explain the fear her people felt. On the other side of the galaxy, in a quiet human world, Eren was unaware of the destiny waiting for him. He lived simply, working the land and spending time with his small community. Humans had always been underestimated by the alien civilizations, seen as fragile and weak. Eren had no desire for war, conquest, or recognition. Yet fate had chosen him for a role far beyond his understanding. The day of the ceremony arrived. Lyria descended from her silver palace, adorned in shimmering garments that reflected the alien sky. She walked toward the human emissary with careful steps, her heart pounding. Eren waited patiently, his calm presence in stark contrast to the elaborate display around him. There was no fear in his eyes, only quiet confidence. It was a look Lyria had never seen in anyone, human or alien. The ceremony was brief, formal, and filled with the silent judgment of onlookers. As the vows were exchanged, Lyria felt a strange sense of reassurance. This human, unlike any alien, carried a calm strength within him. It was subtle, almost invisible, but it stirred something deep within her. She didn't know it yet, but that strength would soon change the fate of entire civilizations. No one could have predicted what happened next. The aliens had long assumed humans were weak, incapable of real power. But just hours after the ceremony, rumors spread across the city. A small border skirmish had erupted between alien patrols and human observers. It was meant to be a minor clash, easily handled. Yet when Eren intervened, the outcome was shocking. In a display that left both humans and aliens in awe, Eren moved with speed, precision, and strength no alien had ever imagined. He disarmed dozens of soldiers, deflected attacks with effortless skill, and protected innocent bystanders without hesitation. The aliens, confident in their superiority, were stunned. Their weapons seemed useless against him. Every attack they launched was met with resistance far beyond what they expected from a human. Word of his actions spread quickly. The alien council gathered to discuss the incident, whispering in disbelief. "How can one human possess such power?" one elder asked, shaking his head. "We have underestimated them for centuries," another replied. "If this is true, our civilization is vulnerable in ways we never imagined." Lyria watched from the palace, a mix of awe and fear gripping her heart. She had married for peace, believing that the union would be symbolic, a gesture to calm tensions. But now, she realized that the human she had wed was no ordinary being. His strength was not just physical. It carried a force of will, determination, and courage that no alien could predict or contain. As the night fell and the city lights flickered across the alien towers, Lyria and Eren returned to the palace. The streets were silent, yet charged with a new energy. Citizens whispered in corners, patrols moved cautiously, and even the elders looked uneasy. The humans had always been underestimated, but now the galaxy was beginning to see that something extraordinary had arrived, something that could change everything. And so, what began as a peaceful union had already started to tip the balance of power. The aliens believed they controlled the fate of their world, yet they had no idea that a human's secret strength was about to challenge everything they knew. In the quiet moments of the palace, Lyria wondered if peace was truly possible, or if the arrival of this human would spark a conflict far greater than anyone had imagined. The next morning, the alien city buzzed with tension. Citizens whispered as patrols moved carefully through the streets. Every corner seemed filled with uncertainty. Lyria walked beside Eren through the palace gardens, her mind racing. She had hoped for peace, yet now it seemed that her union with a human had awakened something unpredictable. Eren, calm as ever, noticed her worry. "Do not fear, Lyria," he said softly. "I did not come here to fight. I only act when necessary." His voice carried a quiet authority that made her pause. It was strange. He was human, yet he had the confidence of a ruler. Lyria wondered what other surprises he might hold. Meanwhile, the alien council convened urgently. Reports of Eren's strength had spread beyond the city. Scout ships and border posts relayed stories of his unmatched ability. The council feared that if humans like him existed elsewhere, their civilization could no longer claim dominance. Strategists debated secretly. Some wanted to confront Eren immediately, while others feared provoking him might escalate matters into full-scale war. In the palace, Lyria's duties continued, but she could not ignore the growing unease outside. Servants brought messages and reports, each more alarming than the last. Yet every time she looked at Eren standing quietly by the window, her fear eased slightly. He seemed to understand the delicate balance of the situation in a way no alien could. That afternoon, a delegation arrived from a neighboring alien sector. They demanded that Eren demonstrate his abilities officially, calling it a test of strength and loyalty. It was a trap. The council hoped to humiliate him and reassert their authority. Lyria sensed the danger immediately. If he refused, it could anger the alien leaders. If he accepted, the display could ignite fear or admiration among the citizens. Eren listened carefully to the delegation. Then he nodded. "I will demonstrate," he said calmly, "but not to show dominance. I only act to protect peace." His words were simple, but the aliens sensed something more. They could feel the power behind them. The demonstration took place in the central arena, a massive space surrounded by hovering towers and floating platforms. Thousands of aliens gathered to watch. Eren stepped forward unarmed, his presence alone commanding attention. The delegation sent their best warriors first, confident that they would crush him. What followed shocked everyone. Eren moved with unmatched speed and precision. Each attack from the aliens was met with calculated defenses, and his counters were swift and flawless. The crowd gasped as he disarmed the best soldiers, neutralized multiple threats at once, and yet never harmed anyone unnecessarily. Even the strongest warriors fell back, realizing that this human was unlike any enemy or ally they had ever seen. Lyria watched, her heart racing. The power was incredible, yes, but it was not just physical. Every movement Eren made carried thought, strategy, and awareness. He anticipated attacks before they happened, reading his opponents in a way the aliens had never experienced. It was as if he understood not just their bodies but their minds. By the end of the test, the arena was silent. Even the delegation who had intended to humiliate him stood in awe. The elders whispered among themselves, worry and amazement blending in their voices. "One human, and yet he is stronger than our entire council combined," said one elder quietly. Eren stepped down from the arena, his expression calm. He did not gloat or boast. Lyria approached him, relieved and impressed. "That was incredible," she whispered. "But now what will the council do?" Eren shook his head slightly. "They will decide. But power alone does not win hearts. We must show them strength with wisdom, not violence." His calm demeanor contrasted sharply with the anxious murmurs of the aliens. That evening, as the twin moons rose over Zythera, reports of the arena demonstration spread to distant regions. Border patrols and far-off colonies began to question their assumptions about humans. Many wondered if a single human could truly challenge the might of an entire civilization. Meanwhile, in the palace, Lyria and Eren discussed their next steps. They knew the aliens would not accept the status quo easily. Some would seek confrontation, while others might secretly hope to learn from him. The path to peace was far from simple, and the human strength, while astonishing, was only the beginning. The first challenge had been met, and Eren had shown what humans were capable of. But the real test was just beginning. The galaxy was watching, Tensions were rising and alliances were fragile. Eren's power had sparked awe and fear alike, and now every move would be critical. Lyria realized that peace was no longer guaranteed. It had to be earned step by step through strategy, courage, and the remarkable strength of the human she had married. The morning sun bathed the alien city in a golden light, but the beauty of Zythera could not hide the growing tension. Eren and Lyria walked through the palace corridors, their steps echoing in the quiet halls. The demonstration in the arena had left the city in shock. The council, once confident in their authority, now debated in hushed tones. Some argued that humans should be treated as equals. Others whispered warnings about the dangers of underestimating a single being. Lyria felt the weight of responsibility pressing on her shoulders. She had married for peace, believing it would calm tensions, but she now realized that a new challenge had emerged. The aliens had begun to question not just humans, but their own strength, and the more they doubted themselves, the more unpredictable they became. Eren, sensing her concern, placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Do not worry," he said gently. "Fear often hides more than it reveals. They are unsure, and that is our advantage. But we must act wisely." Lyria nodded, trusting his judgment. She had learned quickly that his strength was not only in his body but in his mind, and in the quiet confidence that guided every decision he made. Later that day, scouts returned with troubling news. A group of rogue alien factions, jealous of Lyria's position and fearful of Eren's power, were gathering forces on the outskirts of the city. They planned to challenge the council openly, hoping to exploit the disruption caused by the humans' arrival. If they attacked, it could spark a civil war, tearing the city apart. The council convened an emergency session. Tension filled the grand chamber as voices clashed and accusations flew. "We cannot allow a human to hold such power," one elder shouted. "If we ignore this, our civilization will crumble." Another argued, "This human acts for peace. We must learn from him, not challenge him blindly." The debate raged on, but no clear solution emerged. Eren watched quietly, listening to the arguments. Finally he spoke, his voice calm but firm. "Strength alone does not create peace. Force without strategy leads to destruction. If your goal is to protect your people, you must act with wisdom, not pride." The room fell silent. Even the most stubborn elders paused, recognizing the truth in his words. As night fell, Lyria and Eren walked through the palace gardens again. The twin moons reflected off the silver towers, casting long shadows. "Do you think they will attack?" Lyria asked, worry in her voice. "They may try," Eren replied. "But if they do, we will be ready. And remember, Lyria, peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the courage to face it without fear." The next day, the threat became real. Scouts reported that the rogue factions were marching toward the city, their ships cutting through the sky like shadows. Panic spread among the citizens. Traders closed their markets, workers abandoned their stations, and even soldiers hesitated, unsure of what to do against an enemy they believed could not be defeated. Eren did not panic. He gathered a small group of trusted allies, humans and aliens alike, and moved to the city walls. The citizens watched in awe as he organized defenses with incredible speed and efficiency. Every plan he made was simple yet brilliantly effective. He instructed the soldiers, repositioned defenses, and prepared the city for the inevitable confrontation. When the rogue factions arrived, they expected chaos. They expected the city to crumble under their attack, but instead, they found order, strategy, and an unshakable calm that unnerved them. Eren led the defense with precision, his movements effortless yet decisive. Every assault they launched was countered. Every attempt to breach the walls was met with resistance. By nightfall, the rogue forces had been repelled, retreating in confusion and fear. Citizens emerged from their homes whispering in disbelief. The human they had underestimated had not only defended the city, but had done so without cruelty or unnecessary force. His power was undeniable, but it was his wisdom that left the greatest impression. Lyria watched as Eren stood atop the city walls, surveying the aftermath. "You have done more than protect the city," she said softly. "You have changed how they see us." Eren nodded, his eyes reflecting the distant stars. Strength without purpose is meaningless, but when used to protect, it becomes something greater than anyone can imagine. As the night settled over Zythera, the city slowly returned to life. Markets reopened, Citizens returned to their routines and the council gathered once more, now with a mixture of awe and respect. Yet Lyria knew that the peace was fragile. Other threats would come, testing the limits of Eren's strength and the resilience of the city. The first battle was over, but the war of perception, of power, and of trust had only just begun. Eren had shown the aliens the extraordinary potential of humans, and in doing so, had sparked both admiration and fear. The real challenges were yet to come, and every move from now on would shape the future of both human and alien civilizations. The city of Zythera was quiet, but the calm was deceptive. Eren and Lyria walked through the palace halls, their footsteps echoing in the stillness. After the battle with the rogue factions, many citizens began to see humans differently. They whispered about the human's unmatched strength and his calm, strategic mind, but admiration alone could not erase fear. Not all aliens were ready to accept change. While the city celebrated its temporary safety, hidden forces were already moving. Deep in the uncharted regions of Zythera, a group of alien extremists plotted in secret. They viewed humans as a threat to their dominance and refused to accept Lyria's marriage. Their plan was not just to attack, they wanted to destroy the human entirely, proving that no outsider could challenge their civilization. Eren sensed the growing tension. He stood on the palace balcony watching the stars, feeling the pulse of the city. "There is more than what we see," he said to Lyria. "Not all threats come openly. Some hide in the shadows waiting for the right moment." Lyria shivered. She had hoped that the recent victory would bring peace, but now she realized that the danger had only grown. The extremists struck during the night, using stealth ships to infiltrate the city's defenses. They avoided patrols and sensors, relying on secrecy and speed. The first signs of attack were subtle. A small fire in the outskirts, strange signals picked up by the city's scanners, whispers of movement in the shadows. Citizens panicked and rumors spread like wildfire. Eren did not hesitate. He moved swiftly, leading a small team to investigate. His presence alone calmed the civilians, but he also needed to act fast. Using his unmatched instincts, he traced the movements of the hidden enemies, predicting their next steps before they even acted. The extremists thought they were clever, but Eren's perception was far beyond anything they had expected. In a dark alley near the city's industrial district, the first confrontation occurred. The extremists attempted an ambush, expecting to catch humans and alien allies off guard, but Eren anticipated the trap. In a blur of motion, he disarmed the attackers and turned their own strategies against them. Each move was precise, efficient, and controlled. The extremists had expected chaos, but what they faced was an unyielding force combined with careful calculation. Word spread quickly through the city. The human was confronting enemies even before they revealed themselves. Citizens looked to him with awe, realizing that their previous assumptions about humans were wrong. These were not just ordinary beings. They had courage, speed, strength, and intelligence that even the most advanced aliens could not match. Meanwhile, Lyria coordinated with the city's council, helping citizens evacuate vulnerable areas and manage resources. She realized that Eren's strength went beyond physical power. His mere presence inspired order and courage. Aliens who had once doubted humans now followed his instructions without hesitation. His influence was growing, and it terrified those who still clung to the old ways. The extremists regrouped and launched a second assault, this time using advanced weapons designed to overwhelm any defender. Explosions rocked the outskirts of the city, shaking buildings and throwing dust into the air. Citizens screamed and ran for cover, but Eren moved among them with unmatched calm. He intercepted the attackers, deflecting blasts with speed and strength, neutralizing the threat before it could cause serious harm. By dawn, the city was safe once again. The extremists had retreated, their plan foiled, their confidence shattered. The citizens of Zythera began to understand that human strength was not only about fighting, it was about courage, strategy, and the ability to inspire others to stand together. In the aftermath, Lyria stood beside Eren on the palace balcony. "You've done more than defend the city," she said softly. "You've changed the way they think about us, about humans." Eren looked out at the city below, quiet and resolute. "Strength alone does not create respect," he replied. "It is how we use it that defines us." They will remember this night. Some will fear, some will admire, but all will understand that humans are not weak. As the twin moons rose over Zythera, casting their silver light across the city, the human and the alien princess understood one thing clearly: the battles were far from over. The extremists had been defeated, but greater challenges lay ahead. Across the galaxy, rumors of a human with unimaginable strength were spreading. Some saw him as a threat, others as a savior, and somewhere in the darkness enemies were already plotting their next move. The hidden enemy had been revealed, but the real test of Eren's strength, wisdom, and courage was only beginning. Peace was fragile, and the fate of an entire civilization depended on the choices of one human, and the alien princess who had trusted him. News of Eren's victories spread far beyond Zythera. Across the galaxy, other alien civilizations began to take notice. They had long viewed humans as insignificant, weak, and unpredictable, but the stories of a single human who could outmatch trained alien warriors changed everything. Some leaders felt awe while others felt fear. Back on Zythera, Lyria and Eren prepared for what they knew was coming. The extremists they had defeated were only a fraction of the opposition. A coalition of alien leaders, jealous of Zythera's power and concerned about humans, began mobilizing forces for a full-scale invasion. This was no longer a local skirmish. It was a galactic confrontation, and Eren would face challenges unlike anything he had seen before. The city buzzed with activity. Citizens reinforced defenses, trained under Eren's guidance, and prepared for the coming storm. Even the alien council, once critical of humans, now followed Eren's strategies without question. His calm, deliberate approach inspired confidence, and soon the city's military, once divided and uncertain, moved with unity and purpose. Eren studied maps and intelligence reports late into the night. He understood the stakes. This was not just about defending Zythera, but about proving that humans could stand against an entire galaxy of superior civilizations. "We do not fight for conquest," he told Lyria. "We fight to protect life, and to show that courage and strategy can surpass raw power." Lyria nodded, knowing that his words carried the weight of truth. The invasion began at dawn. Alien fleets appeared on the horizon, their ships casting long shadows over Zythera's towers. Explosions lit the skies as the first wave attacked. Citizens watched in fear, but Eren moved among the soldiers with unmatched calm, directing defenses, coordinating counterattacks, and positioning forces in ways no alien commander could have imagined. When the enemy landed troops in the outskirts, Eren was there. He moved like a storm, fast and precise, neutralizing threats with skill and intelligence. Each assault was met with clever strategy, turning the enemy's own strength against them. For every wave of attackers, he anticipated their movements, countered their plans, and protected civilians simultaneously. The aliens had never seen anything like this. They had expected brute force from a human, but what they faced was far more dangerous. A combination of strength, speed, strategy, and calm calculation. Even the most skilled warriors could not match him. His actions demoralized the enemy, causing confusion and hesitation that gave Zythera's defenders the upper hand. Lyria watched in awe as Eren led the charge against the alien generals. With each move, he outsmarted them, striking with precision yet showing mercy to those who surrendered. The city's defenders followed his lead, fighting not just with weapons but with intelligence and courage inspired by him. By nightfall, the battle had shifted decisively. The invading coalition had suffered heavy losses and was forced to retreat. The citizens of Zythera emerged from shelters, cheering for the human who had single-handedly changed the course of the conflict. Even the council elders, once doubtful and critical, bowed in respect. Eren did not celebrate. He walked through the city quietly, checking on civilians, helping those in need, and ensuring that the injured were cared for. His strength was extraordinary, but it was his compassion and wisdom that truly left an impression on the aliens. They began to realize that humans were not just strong, they were capable of heroism, leadership, and honor in ways that no alien could replicate. That evening, Lyria stood beside Eren on the palace balcony, gazing at the city below. "You've done more than defend Zythera," she said softly. "You've shown them what humans can be." Eren nodded, his eyes reflecting the distant stars. "Strength alone is not enough. Respect is earned through action, courage, and integrity. They will remember this. The galaxy will remember this." As the twin moons rose, casting silver light over Zythera, the city was safe. For now. But Eren knew the war was far from over. The victory was significant, but other civilizations were watching, waiting, and planning. And as powerful as he was, he understood that intelligence, strategy, and unity would be the true keys to survival in a galaxy that underestimated humans at every turn. The stage was set for the final confrontation. The galaxy had seen what one human could do, but the ultimate test of strength, wisdom, and courage was yet to come, and Lyria knew without doubt that she had married not just a protector, but a force that could change the fate of the universe itself. The city of Zythera was quiet under the light of the twin moons, but the calm was deceptive. Across the galaxy, whispers of the human who had changed the course of civilization spread like wildfire. Eren and Lyria knew that the greatest challenge was still ahead, not just defending the city but shaping the future of humans and aliens alike. The Alien Council had gathered in urgency. Many leaders from neighboring civilizations had arrived, curious and cautious. They had seen the strength and wisdom of Eren, but they had not yet understood its full scope. Some came to negotiate peace, others to challenge the human directly. The city held its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. Eren stood calmly in the council chamber, his posture relaxed but commanding. Every eye was on him. He had no weapons, no army at his side, yet his presence alone commanded attention. The aliens had expected arrogance or threat, but instead they found serenity and quiet authority. Lyria stood beside him, her hand resting lightly on his arm, silently conveying trust and solidarity. The first to speak was an alien general, known for his victories in countless wars. "Human," he said, his tone sharp, "you have shown strength beyond imagination. But can one being truly protect a city, a civilization, or an entire galaxy? Or is this a fleeting miracle?" Eren's eyes met the general's. "Strength is not a miracle," he said simply. "It is responsibility. It is the courage to act when others hesitate, the wisdom to use power without cruelty, and the determination to protect those who cannot protect themselves. One human can inspire many, but true change comes when we work together." Murmurs filled the chamber. Aliens had always measured power in numbers and weapons, but this human spoke of something unfamiliar: strategy, morality, and leadership. His words carried weight that no army could match. Then a challenge arose. A powerful alien warrior from a distant sector stepped forward, demanding a duel to test Eren's abilities. The chamber cleared, leaving only the challenger, Eren, and the council. The aliens expected a display of brute force, yet what they witnessed was far more astonishing. Eren moved with unmatched precision. Every strike was calculated, every movement anticipating the opponent's next attack. The duel was not just about strength, it was about intelligence, control, and strategy. Within moments, the alien warrior was disarmed and incapacitated, not destroyed. The chamber erupted in astonishment. Even those who had doubted him were forced to acknowledge his unparalleled skill. But Eren's final act was not to dominate or humiliate. He extended a hand to the fallen warrior, helping him rise. "Strength is not for pride," he said. "It is for protection, unity, and progress. Today we show that humans and aliens can achieve greatness together, without fear or hatred." Silence fell. The council and visiting leaders exchanged glances. Slowly, respect replaced doubt. Fear softened into understanding, and admiration blossomed. Eren had proven not only that humans were strong, but that their true power lay in courage, wisdom, and compassion. Lyria stepped forward, her voice calm, but filled with pride. "This human, my husband, has changed not only our city but the galaxy itself. His actions remind us that strength alone is nothing without the heart and mind to guide it." From that moment, alliances shifted. Wars were paused, negotiations began, and the galaxy began to see humans as equals, beings capable of unmatched strength and extraordinary wisdom. Eren's presence had not only protected Zythera, but had sparked a new era, one where respect was earned through courage and unity rather than fear and conquest. As the twin moons rose high in the sky, casting their silver light across the city, Eren and Lyria walked through the streets. Citizens greeted them with gratitude, hope, and admiration. The city was alive, vibrant, and united, a reflection of what could be achieved when strength was combined with wisdom. Eren paused, looking up at the stars. "Peace is never simple," he said softly, "but when we face challenges with courage, strategy, and compassion, even the impossible can be achieved." Today we have shown the galaxy the power of humans, and that is only the beginning. Lyria smiled, taking his hand. Together they gazed over Zythera, knowing that the path ahead would still hold trials and challenges. Yet with unity, courage, and human strength, nothing could stop them. The galaxy had witnessed the extraordinary potential of one human, and his legacy would inspire generations to come. And so, what began as a marriage for peace became a story of courage, strength, and hope. One human had changed the fate of an entire civilization, proving that even in a galaxy of unimaginable power, humans could rise above and redefine what was possible.